That was MIDI clock output from the Atari. Now I said already that MIDI clock input worked all along, and it still works, okay? I'll show you now how to activate it. Going to here, if we click this little panel here, shows what is the, the clock input. So if we click, change it to MIDI, now it's going to respond to MIDI clock input. That means that I can show you the new feature, which is MIDI song position pointer. I've got here on my laptop, I'm running the software called Ableton Live. This is the timeline of the song. What MIDI song position pointer means, if I click somewhere on this timeline, it will send the song position pointer. Now before the Atari didn't respond to it, but it responds to it now. So by clicking randomly here, the Atari sequencer will go to the same point. So let me click on this timeline, and now if you watch, while I click on the timeline, you watch the Atari, and you can see that the sequencer is jumping to the same place that I'm selecting with Ableton Live, and I can start playback of Ableton Live exactly at that point. maxYMiser's always had the ability to switch off pattern scrolling, but this time it works properly. In maxYMiser Live it works properly. So let's show what the normal situation would be. So here is a song. It's just a simple drum beat. If I press play, you can see it's playing these different drum sounds as it scrolls, okay? Now, that's fine. We're going to switch pattern scrolling off now, going into the configuration, and we'll switch off this big scroll thing here. Okay. So now when we play it, it's playing the same drum beat, but this window at the bottom isn't scrolling anymore. But we have the ability to scroll it ourselves, and we can add extra drum beats while it's playing. And I will demonstrate that now. So because this border is coloured, it shows we're recording. I've just added these two things here. It didn't affect, we didn't hear the sound as I was putting those notes in, okay? We can hear the effect, and we can keep adding extra drum hits as much as we want whilst it's playing. We can really evolve our drum pattern as much as we want, just throw in extra hits, get really crazy. That's much more powerful than the previous method, much more powerful than scrolling it. You'd have to hit it at the right time. Now you can enter extra drum patterns. You can enter extra drum patterns, extra drum beats. It's not scrolling, it's much easier. You can hear the effect straight away. You can really define the places where you put the drum hits. That is pattern scrolling off. Every single function in maxYMiser is mapped to a MIDI controller, so I'm going to do a few short, small demonstrations. So the first thing I've done is to map the track mutes to the first three controls on this control surface. So I'll show you how that works. As I say, these first three controls are mapped to mute on and off. So if we watch here, you can see the effect of me turning the knob. So by turning this knob, I can mute and unmute channel 1, channel 2 mute, unmute, channel 3 mute, unmute. So when I come to play this section of track, I can turn the controls, and you can turn the controls really interact with the track using the, and you get the idea. That is mapping the mute and unmute to the control surface. Next I'll show you some more stuff. Not only can you do track mutes, you can also adjust the individual volume of the track. So I've mapped these three knobs on the controller to volume. So let's play the track. Now as I adjust, I can fade stuff in and out using the control surface. Fading the drums in and out. Fading the lead in and out. That's adjusting the track volumes over MIDI using this controller. You can also affect the noise generator over the Atari over MIDI. so you can kind of do bit crusher effect. So I've mapped this knob to control the noise generator of the Atari. So here is the loop. It's just a normal drum loop. So that's playing normally, and now when I adjust this knob, I can make it go really crunchy on normal, and that's using this knob. You can also map track transpose to a MIDI controller. That doesn't sound exciting, but you'd be wrong because it's very exciting, okay? Let's see what that will do for you. So I've mapped this control here to track transpose. So I'm going to play what I've got here. We've got like an acid riff. Now if I adjust the track transpose, so like adjusting the cutoff on a 303 acid synth. And you can do all kinds of crazy analog stuff using that control. That's pretty wicked, I'd say. The next feature, which is mapped to a MIDI controller, is the song position. Okay, so I've mapped song position to this control here. So if I adjust this, when you look at this song window here, it's going to change as I twist it. So you can see I'm adjusting this control and it's changing the song position. Now, that's pretty good, but it has a real killer feature when combined with this MIDI controller. You can assign this panel of buttons to any control you like. So what I've done is to assign the top 3 of these buttons to a different position in the track. So let's look at the song window, and I'll press these 3 buttons here, and you can see it moving. So as you can see, 3 different places in the track. We can select them randomly. Now this is really killer with the song looping mode. So we've slip into jam mode, F10, and we'll start playing the track, okay? So it's going to go do this round in a loop. Now let's just show that it's looping first. So we can get ready the next song position with these keys, okay? So the next one's going to be 3. Get ready. Doing it with keys is a lot easier than scrolling this to the right place. They're all preloaded, there's no chance of making any mistake at all. The second advantage is maxYMiser is able to work without a screen. So you'll be able to resequence your track by mapping this panel of buttons to the 10 most important places in your track, the 10 loops. You can map each of the 10 loops to a different button on the MIDI controller, access them without a screen in a live situation.